Hello, you beautiful people. I am here with Hinchey, the developer and designer of Dynasty, which is a new card game that's being developed. And I would love to know, how did this all get started?
So for us, the starting of Dynasty was during lockdown, when everyone's at home and people were really, really bored. I got to that point because it was the beginning of university, or just as I was beginning uni. And then I saw loads of people play computer games, and I was like, oh, let me delve into computer games and see what computer games I could play. Turns out they're all mad expensive. And then there was this one game, Total War Three Kingdoms. It caught my attention because one, my heritage, and two, I do love war games and kind of like the experience of combat. Looked into it, realized you need to have a fairly decent PC to play it, and then you also need to buy the game. And then I was like, well, I don't have that type of money, nor do I have that type of privilege to play. That idea just kind of left my head. And then one day when I was in the shower, I was like, oh, wait a minute. I think I can make that kind of experience, but with trading cards. And then from there, I started writing down in this black notebook, which is in one of these drawers somewhere. And the game has sprouted from there.
Best ideas always come in the shower. Trust me, I had an idea that was $1 billion idea. I lost it, unfortunately, because it's just one of them thoughts where basically it comes and it goes, but luckily you grabbed hold of it. So you said about your heritage in terms of this game. It actually speaks to you in terms of your heritage. Tell me more about that in terms of how you've integrated that.
So, I'm Chinese. My entire family's Chinese. So obviously, Three Kingdoms period is a big part of Chinese history, and that's why Total War kind of caught my attention there. But for some reason, like during sixth form, so maybe 17, 18 years old, I just got really connected again, and then just really reinvested myself and looked back at my family heritage and just kind of looked at, oh, because obviously I moved here when I was younger, when I was 3, but then you kind of lose that identity, and then that's kind of been creeping back in to myself. And then making this game has made me even more connected, and just I feel feel proud of who I am, where my family's from, and I just put that into the game.
That's awesome. So you've been doing this now for 123 days, I think is the last update I've seen, which is absolutely insane to do anything for 100 days, let alone 123 days. Starting this project off in terms of like where you were to where you are now, in terms of you had an idea and now you've got a fully developed deck box that you're going to be bringing to a meeting next weekend, I believe it is, for your first playtest. How was that whole process for you?
The 120 today would be day 123, but that's just the video side of things. I've been doing this since 2020.
Jesus.
So yeah, it's only the daily videos that I've been doing for 123 days straight. So back to the question of doing that, it is tiring. It is extremely tiring because the content side of things is just one branch of this really big plan that is actually making this TCG push forward. And then behind the videos, there's like 5 other different departments that I've got myself in. So it is very, very tiring.
I bet.
But it's amazing. And then obviously doing the full-time job on top of that to fund all of this, it's good though. It's fun. It's fun. Yeah, meeting people like you is like the best parts.
Hell yeah, dude. Like, when I saw you on Instagram, I was like, this is someone who wants to push this and wants to push it as far as he wants to go. And this is a dream that I love. And I love ideas like this. I love dreams. I love modern creation in terms of using your social media, going for that dream. Yes, it's probably burn you out like no end, especially if you've been doing this since 2020. I'm betting trying to wear all the different hats, no pun intended, I'm wearing a hat. Is quite difficult because you have to be the editor, you have to be the media manager, you have to be the content strategist, you have to do all these different things, you have to talk to the artists, you have to go out and talk to the community and make sure you communicate with that, you have to travel, and then also the expenses that
do the event planning, you have to then
Tell me more about the event plan in terms of how did you get into that with you've just took someone on board recently who's becoming more of a media manager for you, and you seem to be picking up some more people as you're going along as well.
So my team initially, so Shaban, who actually contacted you, so Shaban and I have known each other for a year. We met at university, and the history between us is that he actually came around to my flat that I lived in, but he was hanging out with one of my flatmates. And we're all friends, but like he came out because they were going to go to a party. And then I briefly spoke to him, and then he said that he knew about my stuff from a few years ago. I was like, oh, no way. I was like, it's a small world that you end up meeting these people. And then I said to him, we had a bit of a discussion. I was like, I'm going to contact you one day. It's not going to be right now because I can't do anything right now. But when I do, you're going to have a place on the team because I know how I can integrate you into it. And then from there, this year, I think starting February, he kind of started learning the ropes and just started moving with me in tandem. And then he contacted you, and here we are now. And then the events planning side of things, that's like a whole nother web of things. Because me and you meeting up there was obviously it was organized, but obviously it was also not organized because I didn't know that you were there. Because Siobhan was the one that was contacting you, and I was doing a bunch of different things. But that event itself was planned for a whole month with the team. So I brought 7 people with me, and that was a whole month's worth of planning and organizing and strategizing, and we got what we needed done.
Nice. And again, something like organized, especially with 7 people, let alone 1 or 2 people, is I know the difficulty of that. I worked with a couple companies and I've seen some behind the scenes stuff, and I know how hard that can be for you. And also, hell yeah, for actually getting an event organized in terms of a giveaway, which worked out perfectly for you because you give away to the most perfect person ever could ever grab something like that. What was it, a illustration rare Dynasty card that you got demoed and made up to give away on stage?
That's what it is.
Oh, absolutely beautiful.
Yeah,
Looks
so it was one of
amazing.
the production full arts that we had. And then obviously my team was giving out tickets to all the kids, all the adults, and just seeing who would want to come to the giveaway. And then when I did the giveaway and it was the kid, I was like, wow, this couldn't get any better. Because the kid, I actually my bad on this, but I didn't even get his name. But what he that's yeah no when I think back to him, I'm like, oh, that's such a shame. But him and his mum traveled 4 hours to the Birmingham card show, and that was his first ever event. So
I bet he's gassed
I'm
up about that.
yeah, no, when he got the packs, he was like, I am so excited. His mum was really excited, and then he wanted to open them straight away. And I think it could be, a bit of a core memory, that your first show and you win 100 packs.
I know it does well for his life. Like in the future, crippling addiction to all these different packs. Like I started off a Dynasty. Oh, I
All
love
started because of that day.
I love stuff like that. It's absolutely amazing. So in the future, you've got this playtest coming up in the next week. After that,
Yes.
you're gonna be leaving alpha or entering into more of alpha stage in terms again
So
towards TCG.
now you're asking the right type of questions because no one asks me these things, but because you have, Ross, I'm going to tell you. Um, this year until 2026, it's all alpha stuff.
Mm.
So there's a lot of, there's going to be a few kinks in the cards here and there. There might be a few typos, and there's going to be some things that need to be changed. And then 2026, beginning 2026, that will be beta stuff because there are a few changes that we've already developed and designed, but they can't be implemented just yet. They're going to be implemented next year. And then next year, we should be doing bigger card shows. We should have tables to vend at. Well, not vend, but, promote the game. And then hopefully 2027, that's when we can have first edition and in-store kind of like events
Yeah.
where shops can stock things. That's my plan.
Hopefully you can stock with all the stocking issues people have been having with TCG recently with Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh! And all them other problems. But hopefully they should be resolved by the time you guys come to beta. In terms of gameplay and development of how the actual game plays, have you had any other gameplays before this one coming up this weekend, or is this your first gameplay test?
If you go onto our YouTube, we've actually had a few done before. So these events in Birmingham, they're kind of like once a month or 2 times a month now. So
If you're in the Birmingham area, go and check it out.
Definitely, yeah. We have a pretty good partnership with Geek Retreat, so it's our kind of main hub that we're running events from, or just generally in the West Midlands. we're going to be around in that area because we don't really want to branch too far out yet. But in Geekatry, we're going to have like this event coming up this Saturday, or next Saturday, to kind of let people get introduced to the game again, play the game with other people that have already got cards, and then 2 weeks later, we're hopefully going to be doing a release day for our booster decks. So booster decks are basically just play sets of support cards that are released. So instead of buying packs to get support cards, you can just buy a booster deck and it just boosts your deck. As it's in the name.
Simple as. It does what it says on the package.
Yeah, exactly. So we're gonna host the release day for that, so people can come down, get some free booster decks to add to their decks and see how they like the new support cards.
And that's absolutely amazing. In terms of goals, pie high dreams. Let's say I give you a magic wand today, and you could like wave it, and you would want to see where it goes. What would be like your maximum dream? Would it be tournaments? Would it be distribution across the UK and Americas, or would it be worldwide? What's your end goal?
The end goal is actually a really, really big goal because it's not just the TCG. Because I've already kind of laid foundations for different avenues. And in business, jargon, the business isn't a trading card business, it's a IP business.
Yes.
So from the trading card game, obviously my focus is the trading card game, but then you can branch into books and lore. And then from books and lore, you can then move on to shows and, animations and like that type of entertainment there, which will be really, really cool. And then on the other side of things, like more computer games or spin-off games, which have already got some development, but it's very, very black and white right now. And it hasn't really been fleshed out. But there's different avenues that I'd want to go into. And especially some of the characters that we have, it would be really cool to get other like figurines and stuff, maybe collaborations with other like companies and stuff. But that would be the big vision, where like instead of seeing Marvel, you'd be seeing Dynasty stuff.
Yeah.
And have some form of culture around that. But currently streamlining, it's all about the TCG. Like that's where the bread and butter is for us. And then we'll slowly kind of expand there. But in terms of TCG vision, I would say having people play this across the world, like build that community and create new culture. Because I think currently the culture for many TCGs is quite toxic in some areas.
Yeah.
And it's quite gate kept by a small number of people. But I think we can if we can get the masses on this, then we can bring a new type of culture into the space, which will be very refreshing.
Yes, I definitely agree with you with some of the TCG stuff that's going on right now is very toxic. I'll say Yu-Gi-Oh in particular, in terms of just like you go into a game, a normal weekend game, and get absolutely destroyed. Although saying that's my own skill issues.
but it's true, because you can, like, when I went to one of my first local games, I was playing. This was way back when I was playing like a synchro deck. I was trying to build a Quasar. I was trying to build a synchro Quasar deck, but obviously that was a OTK deck, but I didn't have the money to build an OTK version, so I just built whatever I could out of the cards that I had. I went to it. The person was playing Black Wings, OTK'd me, and I was like, but I can't do anything, so I lose. Next game, someone else playing Black Wings. I'm like, all right, I've learned from my first game, get OTK'd again. And just like, well, I've just summoned and set a card.
Yep. That's all I can do, and then get destroyed. So you're looking for your game not to be cost prohibitive, and hopefully not have any terms of that scalping behavior where new sets will come out and you can't get them anywhere. And it's just like, no matter what, you can't grab them.
Yeah, no. So the way I'm designing sets is that it's having the community be catered for on both sides, right? So you have the collector side of things and you have the player side of things. And what we're kind of trialing now is whatever we're releasing now, it's basically the structure that we'll be going for in the following years once we have proper foundations laid, meaning we'll have starter decks so people can get whatever, get into the game. And then we'll have booster decks. And these are the cheap versions of the higher end cards that you can actually buy as commons. So if you wanted to play competitively or wanted to have that edge, then you can always buy and spend less to play competitive. But then come the booster boxes, there's going to be certain cards like the full arts, right? And they will only be printed in booster boxes.
Yeah.
So collectors will then be shifted towards the booster boxes rather than needing to scalp absolutely everything. But it also means that the players don't get affected because whatever they're scalping, it's only an aesthetic change or it's a print number change.
Yeah,
not
it's nothing
an actual fundamental to the game. Yeah.
It's not like this particular creature is in, like, you can't get it anywhere else, and you can only get it in the booster deck, only in the booster packs, and like the deck will have it, but just not a crappier version, just a more simplistic version of the artwork. And
exactly.
It's like, I want my shiny cardboard as a collector. You're gonna go for that shiny cardboard and get them packs. And that's absolutely amazing that you're doing it that way and trying to make it more inclusive to everyone, affordability-wise, and make it so it's built up for the high-end people. I love stuff like that because it means you give everyone the option.
Yeah, no, that's perfectly right because like all of the things that I'm kind of implementing in my TCG, it's what kind of burnt me and other people. What I'm creating is the result of the pain and suffering that we kind of have to endure, right? So if I wanted to play competitive Yu-Gi-Oh, you have to pay thousands of pounds to get a really, really good deck. But in the future, for me, if you want to play competitive Dynasty, maybe you spend like £200 just collecting all the little singles that you need.
Yeah.
Or even less than that. Because you want to just create that threshold so people can have fun playing your game. And I think that's what a lot of the companies don't remember, and it's the fun of things, not seeing secondary market and seeing how much people are scalping for and seeing how quickly they sell out. I think they've lost the soul in the game.
Yeah, I get what you're saying with that in terms of whenever I go to a shop and I see something for retail price, I get excited it's retail price because that's how bad it's became. I'm like, oh, it's retail! Yay! I'm like, wait, why am I happy about this? I shouldn't be so excited for a simple thing that should be just necessary. But it's a state of how the world's gone in terms of TCG. Hopefully,
it's greed.
Yeah, hopefully that bubble does pop in the next couple of years, and hopefully it doesn't stay this bad. Collectors will always collect, and you always will have them high-end items, and I'm perfectly fine with that, but my god, is it bad. And I can't wait to see...
where the top 1% get everything.
Yeah. I can't wait to see what your full arts look like. I've seen some of the artwork you've done recently of the general, is it? That's the free sketches that you got. Also, that's another question I want to ask. How is it getting the community feedback on everything you're doing at the minute in terms of the videos projects that you're putting out there? Because I'm assuming it is really good, because it's not only are you getting all these sketches done in real time, but then you can look at the community side of things and actually get a feel for what you want to move towards more. And it's more of a collective thing other than it just being a single direct thing for you.
Yeah, no, the community have been very, very supportive. Like, really, really good. Because I think that they can see that this isn't a project for me. Because, like, obviously it was for me in the beginning, but at this point, my joy comes from seeing people like you that get joy out of the game. So if I'm designing a card, for example, like the Evil Minister that was just last night, that's something I want to create, right? But now you guys get 3 options, and then I can kind of just see how do you guys feel about this? If you guys feel like he looks a bit weird, or if you guys don't really like the way he looks, then it kind of gives me some direction, and it's kind of like it's a symbiotic relationship from me creating what needs to be created, but also seeing what people enjoy, and then I think having the personal relationship, because I'm in Discord and I see everything and see people's opinions. And I can actually take that on board. Whereas corporate entities, they don't really care. They just see and look at numbers. But I think what makes the game so amazing is that, yes, I'm creating this, but the community also has a say in terms of like the creative aspect of it, in terms of, design, or like, oh, I really, really like this character. In fact, I'm gonna give you a hot lead, Ross. So
Ooh.
one of, you pulled the Build a Bar,
Yeah, yeah.
because that is a fan favorite of
That's about
ours. Yeah. In the next set that we're going to be doing, we're going to print him as a rare version. So people can now get a rare Build of Art.
that. Ooh, very nice. So you're seeing which ones are the favorites and being like, okay, that one's getting special printed. And I love
Yeah,
stuff like that.
exactly. Yeah. It's it's making you guys happy, but also like it won't break the game. As long as I don't break the game for the reward of money, everyone's going to generally be happy. Right? If I suddenly make this really OP card and print 5 of them and be like, yeah, you have to go get the packs, then that's when it starts crumbling. But making things that you guys enjoy that won't break the game, that is such a big, big foundation to the way we operate.
Definitely, because that's absolutely amazing way to see it. It's just like I want people to have fun with this, and as you said, you don't want to make it so it's all about the money. Don't get me wrong, the money's going to help you guys in the long run,
Of
but
course, yeah.
it's going to be amazing for people in the community basically that, oh, they're finally doing such and such character in a special rare, or such and such character in a special rare, whatever characters you release in the future.
Mm,
Also, another thing looking at this artwork, have you ever seen the anime The Apothecary?
no.
I say check it out and you might get some inspiration for that, because
Okay.
this reminds me of that anime quite a lot in terms of the culture and the history and the roots that you're talking about. And it's really simplistically done. It's really nice. But your artwork in terms of how it got developed and how it got made, how did you find the artist and how did you go about communicating with them what you wanted, communicating with the different manufacturers, the different car companies, actually getting your very first test card?
So the first ever test cards I got were from a company called NPC, so Make Playing Cards. Anyone can go onto their website, and all you have to do is just upload some images, and they'll print it for you and ship it off to your house. And the original first ever prints, they were done by myself, so I drew and then I scanned them into a computer, and then just did some very, very bad graphic design, put it in, tested it, shipped it off. Like that was the beginning. Like that's the fundamental, beginning of all of it. And then over time, I started assembling people, just meeting people on Instagram. And then once you find these people, you kind of see their network, and then their network expands. And then you pick and choose based on who you end up meeting over time. And then as some people get busy with life, so they disappear, or they're not interested in doing it anymore. So, they'll be gone. But then as you keep on going, you will find people that have similar passion to you, and they want to continue.
Yeah. So, as life always goes, ebbs and flows, changes in development, and oh, have you frozen? Hello?
Oh, yeah. Which part did you catch?
I caught all of it, and then I was
Ah,
like, as life goes, and then you froze. So, a bit of technical issues. Hey, it's not a podcast, it's not a technical issue.
that's fine. This is a Wi-Fi issue.
Love it, love it.
Yeah, it's just me. You just meet people. If you just talk to people, you'll end up. Yeah, I just talk, and because I talk, people talk to you, and you find them.
See, that's what I find really attractive about you in terms of your energy. When you were down on the floor, just talking to people, actually chilling out, actually getting to learn what people are playing, seeing people actually playing your game at the Birmingham event itself must have been
Oh
crazy as
yeah,
well. Just seeing that.
that was crazy, man. Like you, the the amount of joy. Like, okay, it's good to make the game. It's fun, right? It's fun to create something. It's fun to actually see what you create be made in your hand. And once you do that, the excitement kind of dies off, because it's like, oh, I've done it. But what the amount of excitement that you get from doing that does not compare to the amount of excitement you see from someone enjoying what you've made, or someone genuinely loving what you've done. And when that happened at the card show, because I didn't know that was going to happen, right? What I did get told at the beginning was two people approached one of my guys at the team and said, "Oh, where's Dynasty setting up?" And obviously we didn't have a real place to set up. So I was like, "Oh, who are these people?" They're like, "Oh, I don't know, never seen them before." And then as me and Nick were making the video and just talk about random stuff, and we're walking, I was ready to just walk on and do stuff. And it was thanks to Nick that he kind of caught those guys playing on the table. And when I saw, you can see it in the video, I'm just like, I'm gobsmacked because it's now real. From it being in my room and kind of me playing by myself to then seeing other people play with it in person, it's like that feeling you could not put a price on, because that's human interaction and human joy that is coming out of your product, and it's like, it was amazing. Yeah, I was elated seeing that.
It's out in the wild now. You can't put it back in the bottle.
Yeah,
The genie's
people
gone.
are playing it. Yeah, from when I made those first initial prints to just keep on developing it. Whenever I see someone play it, it's like, that's not real. Like, what
you
like, I
doing?
don't even believe it. Yeah, like, that's not a real game, guys. Like,
not
why do you
real.
have these cards? Yeah.
I just made it up in my head, but that's how all things get created, and that's how the creative process goes. Like, your first designs, not saying you're a bad artist, were probably terrible that you sent off and got made.
They were terrible. Do not worry.
If you send me some of them over, I'll pop them up on screen right now, and you can see that for yourself. That's if you want to.
Let me see if I can find a picture.
That's the thing. It was so terrible. You're just like, okay, this just goes in the hole.
Yeah, no, it's in one of my. Let me see if I have that account. If I do, I'll be able to send you a screenshot.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
I just like see, like, this is the fun part of actually making a TCG, like interacting with people, talking to people. Like, this is what I love about it. Let me see, orders back. Oh wait, I think I found the tile. Oh, I hope. Ah, yes. Okay. Let me show you this. If this will load, my Wi-Fi allows me. Bear with me 2 seconds.
Yep.
Okay, yes. Let me send it to you on Discord, Ross.
Yep.
I'm still surprised I've got this file.
That's absolutely amazing. So I'm gonna
yeah.
I'm gonna show the camera from my phone, and then I'm gonna pop it up. So this looks amazing. We'll just pop that up right there, and it's absolutely hilarious, the shading you got. But in terms of the character and what you kind of want, it's 10 times better than whatever I could do. If that's me, that would be a stick figure right now.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I mean, no, I did do art in like throughout school. It's just that I gave up on it. I just didn't want to. I just lost the love of doing it, and then yeah.
It tends to happen a lot in with art. I did exactly the same thing. I did art a ton in school, and I just lost interest in it because teachers, other people, just like life in getting in the way of it. And also, you have to stay dedicated to that stuff like mad. You have to be like, every single day I'm drawing something. But
Yeah, the issue with me was the creative aspect. Like, if you're being creative, right, you're using your brain. You're using what's up in here. But then if you're told to follow a curriculum of bullet points that you have to hit, that's not creative.
no, it's
That's
not
just following the
interesting.
system. Exactly. Which is I like that's why I end up stopping it. It's because, like, you're being forced to do something for the sake of a grade. But then if you look at some of the masters that did work, like Leonardo da Vinci, did he have a checklist of bullet points? No. Like, it's kind of messed up on that then. Yeah.
Is the free flow of information and ideas flowing through you onto the page. See, I have an idea of ideas not being our own, in terms of we're just antennae for different situations, different moments to hit us. And when they do hit us, we just kind of flow with life and we grow with that.
Yeah.
For example, Dynasty, I bet was like just to have it in the shower one day and now it's here. It's probably just an insane thing to think about.
It is such a weird thing because I don't know why, because I never did it. It was just when I was in the shower and it hit me in the head, I was like, let me think more about this. And then as I thought more about it, I was like, wait, that could work. And then when I got the notebook, slammed it down, I was like, let me write this down. And then from there, I was like, do you know what? I'm going to post it on Instagram. But I didn't consciously think about doing it. It just happened. It just so happened that it just happened.
The flow.
And now, yeah, the flow just literally happened. There was no intention of making, full arts and making all these printed cards because it was never in my brain. But when I started doing it and more people saw, that's when I got thrown into the boat of like, we want this. Can you make this? I was like, I guess so.
Now this is your problem.
Yeah. Now you've told us you can do this, do it.
Yeah. Get it done. Do it. So we've been recording now for half hour, and I feel like the points we've just got are absolutely fantastic for this first video. And I do want to interview you maybe in like 2 months' time again to see the updates and where we are after the playtest,
Yeah.
something like that. So do you want to end it off here, or is there anything else you want to say or add to the video? Anything that you want to announce or anything like that?
Honestly, just stay tuned. Like, just stay tuned with Dynasty because there's no. I'm not slowing down. There's nothing really stopping me from slowing down. So just stay tuned, join the community, and just have fun. Like, see what we're up to, and join in.
All right, you beautiful people. All links will be down below in the description. So go and check them out. Go and check out Dynasty and show your love on Instagram as well. What's your Instagram handle?
Dynasty_TCG, and also show some love to Ross here. Go click that subscribe, like, all that stuff.
All that good stuff. See y'all later. Bye.